Hi guys, today for Fan Choice Friday we'll be working on the Scarlet Macaw inspired water marble as suggested by Met Peterson. And it's kind of funny that I was just talking in my last video about doing a black overlay, and since my original plan with these colors didn't work out, I ended up doing it for this design. So if you'd like to see how I did it, just stay tuned. First things first, start out with a base coat. I'll be using Ready for Takeoff, which is a peelable base coat, but you can use whichever one is your personal favorite. Now that my base coat is dry, I'm going to be using China Glaze White on White as my base color. Once that's dry, I'm going to be sponging with Seize the Day, which is the red, Stoked to be Soaked, which is the orange, Sun Upon My Skin is the yellow, Sure Enough is the green, and I See the Point is the blue. And these are all colors from the China Glaze Offshore collection. And I originally was going to marble with them, but I will show you my test strips at the end of just exactly why that did not work out as planned. I went ahead and prepped on my nails with Simply Peel, and I'm going to get started on the sponging. I'm going to be having the red toward my cuticle, except on my thumb, which I've decided to kind of flip due to the direction that I'm going to be dipping. And yeah, pretty standard sponging. As usual, I'm working in a 5-ounce cup of room temperature filtered water, and yes, those are a couple drops of polish on the bottom of my cup. Even I sometimes have trouble with polish sinking. It all has to do with how high above the cup you drip. You want to be pretty close to the surface or you run the risk of your polish sinking. So I'm going to, with my orange stick, go ahead and draw up to the top, down to the bottom, and then draw in a zigzag pattern. That's just going to help there not be quite as much space between the feathers when I put them on my nail. Then I'm just going to draw in some very narrow petals. And I was originally planning to do my thumb and pinky together and then my middle 3 nails together, and that just was not really working out. So I ended up doing my thumb by itself, my pinky with my ring, and I'll be doing my index finger with my middle. So I'm going to get this at a good angle. Then I'm going to line my nails up, try to get the feathers on there fairly straight, and then go ahead and dip in. With my orange stick, clear off the surface and make sure there's nothing to stick on top of my design, and then slowly pull out, and there's the marble. So let me zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the liquid latex on these, and I did actually just leave the same latex as I used for the sponging and then just added a little on the underside of the nail. It's up to you whether you want to you know, remove it after the sponging and do a whole new coat for the marbling, but I didn't find that to be necessary with the Simply Peel. Honestly, if I was still using regular latex, I probably would have, because that's a lot more difficult to work with when the polish starts to dry. So I'm going to finish my other nails, and then I'll be doing my cleanup and finishing everything off with Seche Vite. So here's the finished manicure, and I officially have a new favorite for the month. Even though both my index nails turned out a little bit crooked, a little bit wonkier than I wanted, I still really love the color combination and the final result, even though it's not what I was originally thinking of. I kind of mentioned that at the beginning of the video, and what I was going to do is use these colors to marble with themselves. I thought they were creams, they were all from the same collection, and they should work really well, and they didn't. They didn't spread very well. You can see that they're just kind of thick and chunky instead of spreading into nice thin rings. And I wasn't able to get a design where I even would be able to get all of the colors on my nail. I tried taking out the orange and the green. I thought maybe just 3 of them would spread together better, but that didn't really work out either. So after my last video, I still had overlays on my mind, and I did a little gradient and some quick little feathers on top of it, and I liked that a ton better. But I wanted the feathers to be a little closer together so that it was a little bit more kind of interesting and just, you know, a little bit more like feathers would look on a bird, although it's still obviously not exact. So I added in kind of the zigzag pattern, and as you can see on these two, that really helped to get some more lines in there and just gave me more the look that I was going for. Unfortunately, I feel like this was one of my better designs, and it ended up on the paper instead of on my nail, but it's kind of Murphy's Law, and I still like it, even if it's not perfect. Of course, I still have a week to go. I may have a new favorite before the month is out, especially since I've saved some of the best for last. I will be doing some water marble decals or stickers using my Miracle Mat, and a couple other ideas that I hope I still have time to squeeze in. Next month is Nail Art April, and if you haven't already seen the video asking for suggestions, please go leave your ideas for April Fan Choice Fridays, and that'll be open to suggestions through Saturday. And then please do go vote on the poll on my blog. I really enjoyed the suggestions for March, and I'm sure April will be just as good. So hope you guys stay tuned for all of that. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.